Welcome back to another episode of That Sure Was a Movie. Today, clearly you can see we've got a very special guest with us, friend Jaylin. We will be talking about Bug's Life versus Antz, two bug movies released in the same year. So we'll get to that shortly, but first we have some movie news to share with everyone. Kind of got a lot of it today, actually. It's been a big week actually in movies and TV. So what do we got?
We have a lot of trailers that just came out within the past few days to the past week. With Comic-Con happening, we got trailers for She-Hulk, the new Marvel series coming out in a few weeks, oddly enough. That's
Daredevil's back. Let's go.
We also have the trailer for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Is that what it's called? I forgot to write the rest of the title down.
And the trailer music in that, the switch up from Bob Marley to Kendrick was that transition was so good. So good.
Beautiful.
And then the last superhero trailer that we got is Shazam! Fury of the Gods, which I guess has been delayed to January because I think it was supposed to come out initially in December. In addition to that, we got the release of the Oppenheimer trailer online. This came out with Nope in theaters, so it was released there first, but I believe it came out online a few days ago, so that's circulating.
That'll be interesting because the movie's in black and white, but like some of like the explosion shots were in color. So I'm wondering if that's like gonna be part of the movie where it's like showing the explosions in color, or if it's just like teasing it for the trailer.
Some artistic design.
Yeah.
It's an artistic choice.
I think that'd be really cool. The poster the poster released last week too. That was insane.
Yeah.
That's like such a cool poster. It's not a floating heads poster like everybody likes to do nowadays.
Yeah. We also got the trailer for Blonde, the new Marilyn Monroe biopic, coming out in September. We also got
Kennedy gonna be in there? Is John F. Kennedy gonna be in that movie?
I would assume so.
I would hope so.
You would think so, yeah.
If he's not, I'd be very disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost 3 hours long. I don't know how they would completely avoid the whole Kennedy situation in that.
Like, you missed a part in her story. No, we didn't. No.
And then we have the trailer for Pearl, which I guess is a prequel to X, the A24 movie that came out at the beginning of this year. I haven't seen it yet, so
that's something I would not expect to get a prequel this soon.
Yeah, I know. It's supposed to be coming out like at the Venice Film Festival or something in September. So I'm like, they must have
it's like
really
done.
close together. Yeah.
So they must have like been planning that before even knowing the reception of the first one. That's crazy. Bold move, A24. I respect it though.
It's A24. What do you expect from them?
It's either their movies bomb or they do amazing. There's no in between with them. And it's usually based on if they decide to put it in a lot of theaters, which a lot of times they don't. But
which is odd because A24 just has such a cult following now that's like,
yeah, you'd think they'd do whatever it takes to get them in as many theaters, but I don't know.
And then the last trailer that I've got down here is for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. We got a lot of Pinocchio content coming this year.
A lot of Pinocchio.
Yeah.
If you are interested in more Pinocchio content, check out our very first That Sure Was a Movie episode where we talk about Pinocchio True Story. Good stuff. That's a very different type of podcast back in the day. Very different. It was actually in person, so very, very fun. Very fun first episode. Go check it out.
Yeah. All right, what else do we have?
Well, Ben Affleck is returning as Batman.
Where?
Bruce Wayne. I don't know what he'll be doing in the Aquaman sequel. So,
okay.
So he'll be in the Flash movie, and now he's going to be in Aquaman. Which
are they still making that movie though?
Yeah, basically it's like they can't really like. It's too far gone at this point. Like they can't start over or redo anything. I don't know what's going to happen.
They've done it before. They can do it again. It's fine.
I mean,
they don't need Ezra Miller. They can deep fake his face out.
they could. Yeah, but Ben Affleck's like, I don't want to play Batman anymore. And then every time Warner Bros. Ask him to come back, he's like, okay, I'm back.
I'm done. I'm done, you guys. They slip him a check, like, hey Ben. They're like,
I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm not a huge like Batfleck fan as a lot of people are, just because he never really had a movie that was like really good in my opinion. So it's like hard for me to like love him as Batman if he doesn't have a movie that's good. I mean, he was good as Batman. He was fine. What else we got? Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, is releasing in 2023. There's a lot of talk that it was going to release this year, but nope. 2023. Gotta wait a little longer. Will Smith apologized, but for his incident at the Oscars. But Chris Rock is still not ready to talk to him. So yeah, he released a video like apologizing. It's like that wasn't my best judgment. I shouldn't have done that. But Chris Rock isn't ready to talk to me yet. So I don't know. It's a long time ago. Kind of forgot about that at this point. But
yeah, I forgot that.
Back in the news. Here's something really interesting. This next piece of movie news we got. Jon Favreau called the Russo brothers and told them not to kill Tony Stark in Avengers Endgame. When actually he should have called the Russo brothers and told them not to make The Gray Man, which just released on Netflix last week. I just watched that last night. It was
the movie with Chris Evans and what's his name? Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, it was fun to watch Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling do their thing, but it was the most like bland, like basic action movie plot you could possibly think of. Like the action scenes were fine, but they were like nothing like crazy to make it good enough to watch.
And the Russo brothers did that?
The Russo brothers did that, and I don't know what they're doing post MCU, but
not good.
It's not it. It's not it. Yeah, I watched another movie today, and it's like I forgot movies can like actually be like entertaining and they're not just like super basic formula. But you know, I just think that's funny that Jon Favreau called them to tell him not to kill Tony Stark, which I disagree with that. I think that was a good way to end his time in the MCU. But that's kind of all we got today for movie news. So that leads us into our main discussion topic. What was the year? 1998, maybe?
Wait.
I believe so.
Let me get
All right. POV, it's 1998. You have one movie ticket. You can only see one movie that entire year. And you really are interested in bug movies that are about bugs, and you only like animated movies. Well, you have two options. Which one are you going to see? Bug's Life or Antz?
Tough decision.
That's where our discussion will start. Well, Bug's Life, made by Pixar, and Antz by DreamWorks, right?
Mm-hmm.
DreamWorks, yes. Somehow they both made bug movies in 1998. Not just bug movies, but specifically about ants. Not just specifically about ants. Specifically about ants, where the lead, the main ant is like not so well liked or respected in his ant colony. So he has to kind of gain the respect from the ant colony by doing something like crazy. And meanwhile, also has to fall in love with one of the lady ants in the colony.
The princess, to be specific.
The princess, yes. Yeah, both of them are the princess. But not only that, but it has to star a problematic actor. And it also has to...
who's problematic in Antz?
Woody Allen.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. I was like, oh.
And also has to mention suicide in a kids movie. So interesting stuff. You only get one ticket. Which one are you seeing?
I'm going with Antz.
Really? Okay.
I have to go with Bug's Life.
I have to go with Bug's Life, but it's close. It's that close.
Babe, aren't you a Disney adult? I feel like I feel like these.
Not on the same scale of what you see on the internet, but I
Mhm.
do still enjoy Disney as an adult. Yes.
Okay. I was about to say, I feel like there's a little bit of bias in that
Mhm.
choice.
Yeah, they're both fine movies. They're not great. They're both about on the same level though. I'd say entertainment wise.
Yeah, I think
Um,
Bug's Life tells a better story and does a better job at telling the story.
mm.
But like entertainment wise, I think it's a kids movie. But like
Yeah, it's funny because everything I just mentioned, like how similar they are, they're
Mhm.
very different movies.
Oh,
So
100%.
like it's hard to compare them because like they're so different, but also they're so similar, which is the
Mhm.
weird thing. Like they're both about bugs and ants and falling in love and gaining the respect of your ant colony. But the ants is a lot more mature than Bugs
I was
Life.
about to say, Antz is
Yeah.
not a kids movie.
It's
I
not a
kept
kids
thinking this.
movie.
I'm like, who is this? Who's the target audience here?
I
There
don't
are
know
a
what
lot
they
of
were
things in
going
there that
for.
I'm like, this doesn't belong in this movie. Like, you should not be
Yeah,
hearing this dialogue.
it was weird. Like it wasn't one of those animated movies where it's like it's mostly like appeals to kids, but has like an adult joke thrown in there. Like it was adult
Yeah.
dialogue like the entire time. It was very geared towards adults, and it's weird because like that early in like computer animation,
Mhm.
you wouldn't expect them to like want to make a movie that isn't strictly targeted to kids.
Yeah.
Like, no,
But
we're bringing in everyone.
they did it. I respect it. It probably didn't work out for them. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm gonna look up the box office numbers for this.
171.8 million for Antz.
108.
And
And
then
their budget was
353 for
For Bug's
Bugs
Life.
Life.
Ant's budget was 60 million. So they made quite a bit of a profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
what
thing
was
I think
Bugs
is
Life box office?
300 million.
363.
330. Wow.
So
They
something I
had
think
a
is really interesting is that the Ants had a $60 million budget, but Bugs Life only had 40 million. They had a
yeah.
whole 20 million to play with just
Okay, wait. It's coming up with two numbers. It
is
says
it
budget 120 million, 45 million.
what?
Wait, what is this?
I'm
I'm not sure I
confused.
believe 120 million for a budget.
It's listing, why is it listing two different budgets? That's weird. I've never seen that.
Secret Pixar.
For Antz, it says, well, this is Wikipedia, so I don't know how much I believe this, but it says for Antz, a budget of 42 to 105 million. That's a big gap.
That's a big margin.
Yeah, what? They don't know. I guess they just don't know.
Wait, we're just gonna guess it's within.
Huh. Must have been some like underground stuff going on, like underground payment or whatever, like
Yeah,
some shady
under the
business.
table.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you just animate this one frame for me, man? There you go.
Interesting. A Bug's Life was a lot funnier, I will say.
100%.
It's funny because the movie that's geared more towards adults was not as like entertaining. It was maybe on the same level as entertainment, but just a little worse. Yeah, it wasn't as entertaining as a movie, probably 100% geared towards kids at that time. I'm sure that's what Pixar was going for.
Mhm.
I don't know. The jokes were fun.
They're all right.
The plot was not super deep like a lot of the early Pixar stuff was, but it was fine enough. The comedy worked sometimes it didn't. Yeah, they're just both average movies that I guess accomplished what they were trying to do.
They
Now
made
the
money.
question is,
Yeah.
was that smart what they were trying to do? I don't know. I guess based on the box office, I guess they made a profit. They both made a profit. So
I think it's really. I was doing some research, and apparently, Ants is the first like DreamWorks movie, animated movie. That's
Is
the
it
first
really?
one they ever. Yeah, that's the first one they made. So I think I was like, this is a very interesting choice.
Yeah, I mean, when did Toy Story release? That was 95, right?
Yeah, 95.
So
So
yeah,
Pixar has a
that's
little
only
bit
3 years
more-
after like computer animated feature films like even were a thing. So yeah, that makes sense. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so like when I learned that, I was like, all right, maybe I'll cut this movie a little bit more slack. And then I kept watching it. I'm like, I'm taking all that slack back. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this?
I was about to say like that almost makes me like give them less slack because that was their first movie. So it's like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
I'm just like trying to imagine a parent taking their kid like, oh, let's go see
Yeah.
this awesome
Yeah.
Antz movie. They're just sitting there like,
Yeah.
oh no.
It's like family comedy. I'm like, this is
Yeah. Okay. I wrote some things down while watching Antz because I needed to remember this. So some things they mention in Antz. Here's a line. I was gonna let you become part of my most erotic fantasies.
Yeah, I was.
What?
I
I thought this was a kid's movie.
God.
What is going on?
Bro, when he like freaking when he like kidnaps her, I'm like, why is he still I'm like, why is he still touching her? I'm like, why are they grabbing so much? And then they tried to like sexualize both the princess and that random aunt that Jennifer Lopez plays.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also mentions of suicide, like I mentioned earlier. Bug's Life did as well. I think they just used the term. They didn't like talk about it or anything, but interesting word choice in a kids movie.
Mhm.
Public Executions is another one.
Yeah.
Euro Trash. That's
I had to look up that one. I was like, what? This is
Yeah.
a term I've never heard of.
And here's another quote. What if someone ordered you to jump off a bridge? So some pretty mature content in this 1998 animated movie about ants, right?
Mhm. Also a lot of death in both of these movies.
Yeah.
Especially the war scene. That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was crazy. They had an entire like war segment.
Decapitation, the talking. I'm like,
Yeah.
That part
Woody
I was
Allen, what
like,
are you doing?
I was like, he was buried underground, and then he picked up his head. I was like,
yeah, that was I know I was sitting there like he's just definitely just buried, right?
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke. Nope.
No.
he pulled the Korg.
Is that a thing? Is that a thing though? Like can ants live decapitated for a certain amount of time?
No.
Because I know in like The Office, Dwight mentions how like what is it, a chicken can live like so long decapitated? Like is that a thing for ants or is that just like wrong?
I
can still what?
I know it's true for chickens. I've killed a lot of ants in my day, and usually when I decapitate them, they're like, all right.
When you chop off the head of an insect, it can still breathe through the abdomen.
Oh.
But he was talking with his head, so technically the rest of his body would be the part that was supposed to be alive.
I don't think they were very scientific.
So the bulk of the body goes on functioning for a while, but she is going to rot away in the next few days, is what the LA Times says.
Oh, interesting.
On December 13th, 1990. So in the past, what is it? That's a couple years ago, right? I mean, maybe we learn more information about but I guess 1990, that's probably what they were going off of back in 1998 when they were making a movie. So
like we can wiggle with this.
Yeah.
We can work with this.
Yeah. So what else I was just gonna say something. I can't remember. We got into a decapitation, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Crazy movie.
It is insane. If you haven't watched this movie or you haven't watched it since you're a kid, I don't want to say recommend it because it's not that good, but also it's it's definitely a experience because you're not going to expect it. I guess if you're listening to this podcast, you are going to expect it because we literally just told you everything. But let's be real, nobody listens to these podcasts. And if they do, they're listening to a very specific section of it. So if you randomly skip forward to this exact section, go watch this movie. It's a cinematic masterpiece. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but I don't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it to someone. If you want to see something insane, it's fun. It can be fun. But yeah, maybe, here's what I was going to say. Maybe like all the deaths we're trying to get like kids to like sympathize with the bugs and like not just step on bugs and stuff in the real world. Maybe that's what they were both going for. Because if I was a kid and I see these like ants going to war and like this complete trauma they're going through, I think I would think twice before I step on an ant. I think
that makes sense.
Yeah, that does.
That would make sense. They still could have did a better job at doing it though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Instead of traumatizing children.
Yeah, I guess 1998 was the year of traumatizing children until they learn to be acceptable in society, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I definitely think most of the budget went into finding like celebrities to voice these people.
Yeah.
On that, it's like a star-studded cast, which is
the casting budget probably was a lot.
Yeah, and not obviously not the animation.
Yeah, I mean, back in 1998, obviously computer animation wasn't where it's at today, but it did look a lot worse than like Toy Story, I would say.
Toy Story that came out like 5 years before.
Yeah, I think it was I don't know what 1995 maybe, so like 3 years, I guess. But when you're just starting out in something, 3 years can like make a huge difference.
Right.
So it's weird that they took a step backwards.
Yeah.
And Antz just looked atrocious. I've seen A Bug's Life compared to like PS2 cutscenes a lot, like on Twitter. And like, yeah, that's definitely true. And like if you like take a screen grab of like a certain shot, but going into that, like knowing like those memes and stuff, I was honestly like kind of surprised that it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as I was expecting, I guess. But when it's just like an establishing shot or something, or like an overhead, that's when it like that's when they got lazy with it. That's kind of when it's like, okay, they clearly wanted to put their time into when the characters are actually on screen. But
yeah, which I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with shortcuts.
No. It did not affect my enjoyment of the movie or my score of the movie at all in any way. So now some people would say anything like that will negatively affect a movie, even if a movie's perfect. I do not live by that at all.
We're not sticklers.
No. If a movie entertains me, it entertains me. Did A Bug's Life entertain me? Well, not that much, but enough, I guess. It's very nostalgic for me, so that's probably why I wasn't like bored out of my mind, probably. Because let's be real, it's really not a great story. It's not very entertaining.
What do you mean it's not a great story? A little baby ant goes out to find.
No, it's like a fine story. It's like a fine story, but nothing that like has me like on the edge of my seat or like that's
Spacey's in this movie.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's not needing to do that. Like it does what it's like set out to do.
Yeah.
And when I'm a kid and I'm watching that, like I don't really know anything about anything. So I'm like, yeah, sure, cool. Bugs on a screen. They're talking. That's cool. Let's go. But yeah, I used to watch this movie all the time on like VHS. And yeah, maybe the nostalgia is why I probably like this a little more than Antz. But I don't know.
I was wondering why, because I'd definitely seen the Antz before, and I was wondering why, like, I can't remember a single thing from this movie. And after rewatching it, I remember what my brain was like. You're good. You don't need to.
I never remembered watching it as a kid like that. I think that was the first time, like a week ago, that I watched it.
Oh wow. So this is one of my like last two movies that I need to like either watch or rewatch to like accurately give like a Pixar ranking and like real scores that I actually like trust, because I haven't seen this from like I was very young. So I was interested in to see how my reaction would be, and yeah, it was I totally forgot what I was about to say, but I was I don't know what I was about to say. I had a point there, but maybe it'll come back to me.
I had thought about this morning with Bug's Life. After watching it, I was like, okay, that's like mediocre Pixar, like probably closer to bottom tier, but it's still fine. And then I thought about it, that Disneyland used to literally have an entire land themed to Bug's Life.
Kids went crazy for this movie.
Yeah, I used to love it. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I didn't remember this like movie at all. But the second each scene started, I'm like, oh, I know what's about to happen. Oh, I remember this very well. It was very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like all came back to me.
I think one of the funny things about both of these movies is that like Antz, they obviously spent their money on getting like star actors and all that jazz. And for like Bugs Life, I maybe knew like maybe two voice actors, but the difference in voice acting in both of these movies is really interesting.
Yeah.
Like DreamWorks feels, or DreamWorks, Antz feels just feels off. Everything feels off about everyone talking. Why do you have Woody Allen? Why'd you get Woody Allen for this movie?
Yeah,
why is it?
Yeah, that's a
Why is
weird.
there a Brooklyn ant here?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking at the Bugs Life cast right now. Obviously they had Kevin Spacey.
Right.
They had John Lasseter and Andrew Stanton, who are like have always been like animators and directors for Pixar.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of the Pixar like people in it. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was in it.
Mm-hmm.
The one dude who's in every Pixar movie, obviously.
I love that man. I don't know his name, but I love that man.
Yeah, what's his name? John Ratzenberger. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's a legend.
The guy who plays what the saber-tooth tiger in Ice Age.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that when we were watching it. Who?
Yeah, I looked it up. I was like, that's got to be him. And I looked up. I was like, it is. I knew it.
Really? Wow. It's been so long since I've seen Ice Age. I couldn't like pick out
that
the
movie,
voice.
That movie does not hold up.
Really?
Well, I think like content-wise, the animation is I rewatched it, and also Maddie rewatched it, and we were like, whoa, wait. Like if you just look into the background, they didn't even try.
The animation is bad. Like the baby is atrocious. It's like I don't know what it is with like babies in movies, but they can never get it right. There's the Ice Age baby, there's the Twilight baby. I feel like there's one more baby in the movie. Can't remember. I feel like there's one more that's just like really bad. Oh, it's the American Sniper baby where they had like the doll and it's clearly just like a doll.
I've never seen that.
Those are three very different movies.
They are.
It's so interesting. It's so easy to tell when a baby is faking something. Like my roommate and I will be watching a movie and like a baby will just pop up. I'm like, that is fake.
Okay, we mentioned earlier how like both of these had like really loaded casts, but now that I'm looking at it, A Bug's Life had nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had Elaine from Seinfeld and they had Kevin Spacey. That's it. I don't know who any of these other people are.
Movies are like that though.
Okay, wait, who's this guy? Denis Leary. Dennis. I don't know how to say his name. It's spelled like Denis Villeneuve, but
yeah, that was the guy that played the saber-tooth tiger.
Yeah.
He has been in a lot. He looks very familiar. Does he play Gwen Stacy's dad in The Amazing Spider-Man? Is that who he is?
Yeah.
He's in those movies.
I think so.
His face looks familiar. I think that's who it is. Interesting. I'm sure I know a lot of these people from like everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure they voice like a ton of Pixar stuff, but I like don't know them outside of like where Antz got like actual like live action actors to play the roles, which is interesting. Brad Garrett. Who's Brad Garrett? He also looks familiar.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I said he looks familiar.
Oh,
that doesn't help me.
He was in Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah,
I love that show.
I've seen like one episode of that.
So good.
He was in The Pacifier with Vin Diesel. Yeah, I don't know who this dude is. I don't know why he looks familiar to me.
I'll be honest with you. That's funny.
Oh, Maeve, I'm gonna call you out.
Oh no.
You said you've never seen Bug's Life before.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't realize we were talking about Bug's Life. I've seen Bug's Life before. I was talking about Antz.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was gonna say because on your letterbox you said you rewatched A Bug's Life.
No, I had said that and then I realized that the topic was about Bug's Life and I was like, oh shit.
So you're just in a whole new world over there.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen Antz or not. I don't think I have, but I feel like there's no way I didn't as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, I know
But-
I didn't as a kid. I remember seeing that. I'm like, I don't want to watch that.
Absolutely not.
There's no way what I guess it came out before I was born, but my also we'll say 5-year-old brain would be like, no, I don't want to watch a movie. It'd be like bugs, talking, fun. Yeah, let's go. I want to watch
Sylvester
it.
Stallone, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was a 5-year-old, I'm like, Rocky Balboa, I want to see him voice an ant.
It was interesting. I was talking about that movie with my parents yesterday. Antz, not Rocky, but we were talking about that movie yesterday, and my dad goes, I don't want to watch that. It's too creepy for me. I was like, oh, maybe that's why I didn't watch it as a child.
They do look kind of scary.
They do look a little scary when you compare it to how the ants look in Bug's Life.
Yeah, like
a little scary.
They try to make the ants look like humans.
Yeah,
and that just doesn't work.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share a screen here. So if you're on YouTube, you can see this poster for Antz. If you're not on YouTube, you can look it up yourself, or you can go head over to YouTube and watch our video podcast.
You can do both. You can watch it and listen to it 2 times.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very small, but here it is. Yeah, very interesting.
I do not like the look that Sharon Stone's character was.
Yeah, I was about to say it just looks gross.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's odd. I thought it was. I like the scene though when they what they call. I can't remember what they called it, but they're like at the trash can that had all like the leftover food and stuff with the bees. What they call that place?
It was like
Insectopia.
Insectopia. Okay. I like that. I like that scene. That was kind of cool.
It was kind of cute. It was all right.
Yeah. But whoa, I just found the greatest picture of all time.
Oh, I forgot to mention this. Ant's super racist. What's up with that?
It's yeah, these movies aren't, well, I guess Bug's Life, I think we're fine, but other than Kevin Spacey, I guess they have a lot going bad for them. Obviously at the time, I don't think any of this was known, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like anytime you look back on anything, it's like, that's little.
Yeah. Well, not racist as in like actual race, but like all the ants hated every other race of bugs.
Oh yeah, like it was definitely like, I feel like a metaphor for like racism and like stuff like that. Like I think that's what they were going for, honestly.
Oh, okay. Okay, then that makes sense.
Yeah,
but
like
why?
I don't know. It's a kids movie again, and it's DreamWorks' first movie.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to accomplish this?
And why didn't you try to accomplish this in? Oh, I was gonna say Despicable Me, but that's not DreamWorks. That's in Shrek. Well, they did in Shrek. Well, never mind. Maybe this is just a recurring theme in DreamWorks. They're just like, hey, racism's bad, guys.
I guess. Yeah, Shrek covered police brutality, like with the
pepper grinder instead of pepper spray.
Yeah, and then what was it? The knights, like with the knights and the horses was like, yeah.
That's a good
crazy.
I'm gonna rewatch that.
Shrek is so good. Shrek 2 even better.
Yeah.
Best sequel ever made.
Probably the best sequel ever made. Maybe.
It's up there.
It's up there. It's definitely in my top 30 movies of all time.
30?
Yep.
Interesting.
If you go on my Letterboxd list, I
shout out
have a favorite movies of all time. And it's on the list. I think I have like a random number because I can't think of like 3 more movies to make it like a normal number. So it's like top 37 favorite movies of all time. But I can't think of anything else that like deserves a spot on the list. But I don't want to take a couple of them off to make it like 35 because I feel like they do deserve a spot in my favorite movies list.
You could just say top movies.
I could. Well, that's what it is. I just like it's just a random number. But Shrek is on the list. I'm pretty sure it's like around 25 to 30 range. Shrek 2. I mean, I think I said Shrek. But... yes, I found the best image of all time. I'm gonna pull it up for a second. If you're on YouTube, you can see this. If you're not, we just mentioned and explained this. We got the whole gang.
We got the Antz gang.
We got Antz. We got Bugs Life. This is the biggest crossover since 1998.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh man.
I loved that caterpillar. He was a good comic book.
He was a good guy.
Good little German bug.
Yeah, he's a funny little guy. All right. Yeah, I had to share that. I was going through images and I'm like, that's perfect.
Oh, wait a damn minute. That's the cover. That's the cover art.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Just steal it off the internet.
Yeah.
Oh. Is anyone aware that there is a Game Boy Color game for Antz?
I did not.
No.
Hold on, let me.
Full of gameplay.
No, I don't want to download that file. Oh no. Oh god.
We just witnessed Maeve get a virus.
Like,
Huh.
ooh.
Why is he always looking like that? I don't understand.
No.
So
What's his name
weird.
too? Z? What kind of lazy?
Like, is it literally just the letter Z?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So what is this game about? I wonder. Like, I wonder if you
Oh,
like
there's-
go to
Beating
war.
fascist ants, Brody.
There's two. Oh, sorry. There's 3 Antz games on Game Boy.
There's Game Boy
Wow.
alone?
There's just the regular Antz game. Oh my god, there's so many. No.
Wait, they have Antz Extreme Racing.
And then they have regular Antz Racing. And then they have Antz World Sports.
The cover for Extreme Racing, he's riding a bee. So like, is that like racing, but you're like flying a bee? That's kind of cool. I'm about to go find my old Game Boy and buy this game.
Oh my gosh, look at how pixelated this is. Hold on.
Yeah,
Oh
the pictures of like the gameplay look like Super Mario Bros.
Oh my
What's
god.
the Extreme Racing one?
Oh wow, Extreme Racing is
Is bad.
Do you think Woody Allen is in this game?
he might be. He was probably so attached to the character that he wouldn't let anybody else voice that character.
And then he created heinous crimes.
Yeah, kind of like what's his name? Anthony Daniels, who plays C-3PO, literally will not let anybody else voice C-3PO. Like he's even the voice of like Star Wars Monopoly Electronic Edition. That's how like he's like, no, nobody else can play C-3PO.
Anytime they're about to make something, like, all right, we got to call Anthony. Yeah, Anthony, we need you again. He's like, that's all right, that's good. I'll come back. It's fine. No one's touching his character.
Hey Anthony, have you seen our Minions Rise of Gru episode? Yeah, we did like a mock interview with like a fake minion. We're gonna do the same thing with C-3PO, but we didn't want to like
We're gonna need you
do
here.
the voice ourselves. We're gonna need you to do it. I know you don't want anybody else to play C-3PO, and we really wanted to like get that character out in the world for people to see. So we'd really appreciate if you give us a call back. And yeah, I just want to call you and let you know that. So yeah, bye. So that's how that conversation will go when we do our next Star Wars episode.
That's fair.
Precisely.
He's
Oh,
so
man.
old. He's got to be tired.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he just loves C-3PO that much.
I guess they need to kill him off then. Stop putting him in damn movies.
They didn't they like announce like a new show that he's gonna be in or something?
Yeah.
Like
Oh my
droids.
God.
Isn't like droids, isn't that about C-3PO?
Or it's something like that. This man does not get a blink of rest.
No.
Disney's always like, hey, we're pumping out another one, Anthony. You said you wanted to voice this character. Well, come on.
Yeah.
Poor man.
Wild.
The score for Antz the score for Antz is god awful. The score for
I guess I don't remember the music in Antz, so I guess it was
Exactly.
just forgettable.
Yeah, it felt like stock music.
Yeah. A Bug's Life was Randy Newman, so you know it's gonna be phenomenal. It was funny because like I think I knew that he did the music, but I wasn't like 100% sure. But like I didn't even have to look it up because I heard one second of one of the scores, and it's like, oh, that's obviously Randy Newman, because it's very Toy Story like.
Mm-hmm.
So
very distinct.
Yeah.
And it's cute and it's memorable and it's so good.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the cool things about Pixar is that every bit of music that they have is so distinct. Like if in that movie, and you're like, oh, that's a Pixar movie, but I know exactly which Pixar movie that's from.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like pretty much every single movie, even the bad ones.
There are no bad Pixar
great
movies.
Score. Well, yeah, you're right. You are right. Even the ones that are the worst Pixar movies still have a great score. I would say Brave and the Good Dinosaur, I don't really remember them very well.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were still good though. Actually, I think the Good Dinosaur did have a really good score, but I don't remember it. I feel like
not a really good movie.
What?
I said it had a good score, but not a really good movie.
No, it gets more hate than I think it deserves. Yeah. I don't think it's the worst Pixar movie. But yeah, like you said, I don't think there is a bad Pixar movie. And if you watch our Pixar tier list that we did a few episodes ago during our Lightyear episode, I probably did have a couple, maybe one in the bad tier, but that was because I haven't rewatched A Bug's Life and Cars 2 for years. And I think I probably put Cars 2 just because I wanted to separate it because I haven't seen it for so long. But I rewatched it the other day, and Cars 2, it's a good movie.
It's not bad. It's not really bad. Good. I love that movie.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I don't understand the hate for it. Like, yeah, they take a side character, make him the main character, which doesn't work a lot of the times, but it did not work here. Like, it wasn't as good as the first one, and it would have probably been better if Lightning McQueen was the focus, but like, I think it was cool how they like completely changed genres for the sequel. And like, you couldn't make that same spy story with Lightning McQueen because he's busy racing. He doesn't have time for spy stuff. So, and I don't think Mater was like annoying like a lot of people say. I think it was funny how they used his like annoyingness to like make fun of him when he's really just being himself, and like ended up being fine. And I actually think A Bug's Life is actually worse than Cars 2. So there you have it.
There you go. I've been saying that for years. Everyone's like, what happened in Cars 2? I'm like, what happened correctly?
Yeah, like I had literally had not watched it since it was in theaters, and I'm like, I don't remember loving it as a kid. And when I'm a kid and I don't love it, it probably wasn't very good. But like, I haven't seen it for so long that I literally cannot say that. So I've been wanting to rewatch it for a long time, and I was pleasantly surprised. I actually wasn't surprised because I was kind of expecting it to be fine, but I don't know. It was fun.
Did you like the pistachio ice cream scene?
Oh, that's like the one part I did remember. I was like waiting for that scene to happen. Like, let's go. Yeah, that's a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
I need to rewatch Cars 2 because I haven't seen it since it was out. So I guess I gotta check that one out again.
Mm-hmm. I think what's funnier is that Cars 1, was like a racing movie. Then they're like, all right, here's a badass spy movie where cars die and they hate old cars. And then Cars 3 was like, all right, we're back to racing. We're like, wait.
Yeah, it's like a terrorist story, basically.
Exactly.
A terrorist spy movie. Yeah, Cars 3 I have a lot of issue with, but I'm not going to talk about that here because I could go on and on about that. But it's still good. Just the ending is annoying and like completely erases the whole point of what they're going for the rest of the movie. But I'm not going to get into that because I
started on Cars 3.
If you want to hear my opinions, I wrote an entire novel on my Letterboxd. So go to my Letterboxd and read my entire novel that I wrote about Cars 3. Good stuff. Well, bad stuff because the way they handled the movie, but it's still a fine movie. Do you guys remember the teaser trailer for Cars 3 though?
That went hard.
That was the best teaser trailer of all time. And I'm upset that they didn't actually go like that dark of a movie. Like that was like the darkest.
Kill Lightning McQueen.
That was the darkest like animated teaser trailer I've ever seen. Like it was basically just like him crashing, but like it was
slow motion.
Yeah, it would have been so good if they just would have been like full dark movie, but That's not what we got, but it was still fine, but except for the ending. But like I said, not gonna get into that.
Disney can't kill off Owen Wilson.
No,
they can't kill him.
I can't.
He's too good.
He is. I wonder if there's gonna be any more Cars content in the future. Like,
I hope there isn't. I hope they're done.
I hope they are too, because it seems like that's like the one, not the one, but outside of like Toy Story, it's like the one franchise that they decided to just like keep making movies, because they got 2 sequels. And not a lot of these other Pixar, like Incredibles, took like years to make even 1 sequel. So that was interesting that they decided.
That movie was still bad.
What?
I said that movie was still bad. It took them 10 years to make that movie. And it was...
I enjoy Incredibles too. It's not even close to the first one, but I rewatched it. The second time, I'm like, actually, no, the first time I enjoyed it, but I'm like, it wasn't that good. Then I rewatched it, I'm like, actually, that was a lot of fun. Like, it wasn't like amazing, but it was fun.
Okay, maybe I need to rewatch it. I did not like it when I first watched it.
I will say the villain was a lot better in terms of like having a motive than Syndrome.
Yeah,
but also very predictable villain like Pixar typically has. But Syndrome's a much better villain, but like the motive and all that makes a lot more sense than being told he can't fight alongside Mr. Incredible as a child.
I think that's a great origin story.
I do too. I think it's hilarious, but like they actually like spend time on the like the backstory, which is good. But like no, I've always loved that. He's just so petty that he like spends his entire life to become a supervillain. That's
and
great.
He kills other people in the process. He says, "Oh, I can be a superhero. No one can be a superhero."
Yeah.
That's great. I guess we haven't talked about Bug's Life or Antz for a while. Do we have anything?
Great point.
Do we have anything else to say about that, or should we wrap up that part of the discussion? I really have nothing left to say about it other than like, I said all I needed to say. They're both fine. It definitely interesting. Antz is more of an interesting watch, I'd say. Bug's Life is more of an entertaining watch.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm disappointed that we didn't see Antz, because if you could have heard my commentary watching that movie alone in my house,
I was thinking the same thing. Like A Bug's Life, we didn't have a ton of commentary throughout it. But Antz, I'm like, I could not speak through the entire movie. I was screaming. It was insane.
As soon as some of those lines came up, I'm like, oh my God, I need to hear Jaylin's commentary.
It's erotic fantasies is never something I would have expected to hear in a kid's movie.
I woke up my roommate. I was like, what? He was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm watching Antz. He's like, oh,
I love it. It's so good.
It was so interesting just going into it blind and just hearing those things and be like, okay, DreamWorks went there. All right.
Yeah. They did that.
First movie.
Yeah.
First movie. That's bold move.
Yeah.
They really did that.
The Chad of the animation industry.
Honestly. All right. Shall we move into upcoming releases, or do we have anything else to say about anything else?
I have nothing left for this franchise.
All right. I am never speaking about Antz ever again. No, I probably will, just because it's honestly iconic. Like, it's not that good, but it's pretty iconic, not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Upcoming releases. So we've got a couple that aren't upcoming. They're actually out now. So I don't know when this episode is going to be dropping, probably soon after this is recorded. But yesterday, and technically today, I guess, Vengeance is out in some theaters. I don't know how wide of a release it is. Written and starring, is it directed by BJ Novak as well?
I think so.
I think it's written, directed, and starring BJ Novak and Issa Rae. What's it about again? I can't even remember. It's been so long since I've seen the trailer.
I feel like the best way I can describe it is like only murders in the building, but not in a building and in Texas.
Yep, that's what I was looking for. I knew there's a comparison to something else. Yeah, it looks fun. I want to see it. I love BJ Novak, obviously from The Office. But DC League of Super Pets, that's out now.
Pretty funny.
It doesn't look terrible, but you know what I'm excited about? never having to go to AMC theaters and seeing that trailer ever again.
Yeah.
The amount of times I had to watch the trailer, and the trailer wasn't bad. Like, I'm not wanting to see the movie that bad, but like the trailer was fine.
Yeah.
But I have seen that trailer so many times because they've been showing it for months. It's been in the theater trailers for a long time, and I'm so happy I'll never have to see it again.
There you go.
Not Okay, released on Hulu, starring Zoe Deutsch, Dylan O'Brien. I just watched that today. Actually, it's great. I love it.
What's it about?
It's about this girl who wants to be known on the internet, so she fakes going to Paris on a writer's retreat, and while that happens, there's a terrorist attack in Paris, so she has to like keep up this lie that she was in Paris during this time, and just things happen, and it's really good. It's really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Shout out to Reese on TikTok, guy with the movie camera, who did all the TikToks for it. He was in the movie. I was not expecting to actually see him in the movie. He's not going to watch this podcast, but shout out to him anyway. Go watch his TikTok. He does a lot of fun videos with. He started off doing like PA videos because he's a PA on like shows. Now he was like on the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and now he just does a ton of like press stuff. So super cool. Now he's in the movies. Crazy stuff. What else do we got coming out soon?
Bullet Train comes out next Friday, starring Brad Pitt.
Yes. It's got Brad Pitt. It's got I'm spacing his name again.
The guy from Atlanta.
Ryan Tyree Henry.
Yeah.
Paperboy's gonna be
Paperboy. All about. Is he actually British?
Yes, he is. Right? Yeah.
I don't think he is. Because I was about to say, if he is, that's a drastic.
No, he's not. No. Okay.
Oh, okay.
At one time I was convinced he was British, and then I learned he wasn't, and now I'm always confusing myself, like thinking I was wrong the first time, but no, he's American.
Okay. Hey, what a drastic difference from being British and going to Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was thinking the same thing. But I love him. He's great and everything.
He's a great actor.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. It's looks very, very quirky, I guess. So we'll see how it is.
I like the cover art, the poster, whatever it's called, poster art for it. It looked pretty dope.
Yeah,
Japanese kanji.
Yeah, the trailer was cool too. So
trailer looks funny.
Yeah. What else we got? The Sandman on Netflix. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is, Maeve? Anyone know what that is?
Apparently, it's a DC series, which I'm a little shocked as to why it's on Netflix and not like HBO or something. Because DC posted about it.
What character?
I really have no idea. I probably should have done some more research on this beforehand.
Well, it's weird because like I've never heard of this, but like Netflix is like marketing this like crazy. Like I keep seeing this everywhere. Yeah. So like, yeah, it's interesting.
Sandman, aka Dream. What's the character name?
Dream?
Oh.
The YouTuber? Minecraft YouTuber Dream?
Precisely.
Shout out to Dream. Dream, where's the new album? We need that music to drop.
I need the Mask album.
Yeah. New episode of Only Murders in the Building every week. Released on Tuesdays on Hulu. Great show if you haven't seen Only Murders in the Building. Season 1's amazing. Season 2 is just as good so far. I think it's got a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes still. It's
very hard to do.
It's great. I love the cast is so good. Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez, so good together. It's such an unlikely group of people. Well, the two are likely, and then adding Selena Gomez with them is unlikely. But it's great. Check it out if you haven't seen it. The Rehearsal on HBO Max with Nathan Fielder. New episode tonight at the time of this recording. New episodes every Friday. Nathan Fielder is a genius. He's one of the best comedians ever. If you haven't seen Nathan For You, that's his first show on Comedy Central. It's also on Hulu, Paramount Plus. It's great. The Rehearsal is also great, and I cannot wait for the new episodes to drop.
Is it basically just Nathan for you? Is that what it is?
It's not actually. It's like Synecdoche, New York in real life. So basically, he has a person that's like the main focus of an episode, and he's like has them go through these like simulations of like real life. So like they know how to act in a certain, like the first episode's like this guy goes through every single possibility. So like when he goes into the situation, he knows how it's gonna end up. And like it's hard to explain. It's really good. A lot of time and effort and thought was put into the show. It's actually insane.
Okay.
It's not so much like, it's not as like comedy based as Nathan For You is and anything else Nathan does, but obviously anything with Nathan is going to be like funny, like naturally. But yeah, it's great. That's all we have written down for upcoming releases. I can't think of anything else that's really releasing.
Nope came out recently.
Nope came out. Yes, we saw that. We were going to do an episode on that, but I guess we didn't. It was great. It was good.
Was it? Okay. All right.
I liked it a lot. It's probably my least favorite Jordan Peele movie, but that's not a bad thing because I've loved everything he's made.
Okay. All right.
Get Out's one of my favorite movies ever. I think Us is underrated. Great. And Nope is just a little bit worse than Us to me, but that's only for one reason that I'm not going to say because it's a spoiler. But
I would say around. I think it's my favorite Jordan Peele movie.
Yeah, it's a lot of people are saying that, and yeah, it's good, definitely good. Well, I guess another thing, Better Call Saul is releasing new episodes. The finale is coming out soon. One of the best shows ever made. Pretty great.
Enough said.
Yeah, that's about it though, right? Nothing else?
I think so.
All right. Well, I guess that kind of wraps up the episode. If you are wanting to check out A Bug's Life or Antz, don't do it. They're not good. No, I'm just kidding. Do it. A Bug's Life is fine. If you grew up watching it, check it out again. It's probably not going to be as good as you remembered, but Antz is definitely something. That's my best way to put it. It's something. It's an experience, and it's not something you'd expect. But yeah, it was a fun little conversation. Jaylin, thanks for being on. Love having guests on the podcast. It's always a good time.
Of course. Thank you for letting me come along.
Of course.
Well, of course, anytime.
All right. Well, if you want to check out our previous episodes, we have done a couple of MCU episodes. I don't even remember what was before that, but our last two were MCU related. So check that out. Follow us on social media. Instagram, TikTok. Check us out on TikTok if you want to see some fun videos. We don't post them to Instagram, so a lot of fun stuff over there that you're not going to see on Instagram. So check it out. We've been kind of lazy as of late, but we've got some good stuff over there.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah, we're gonna put out some more content. Coming up soon. We got some things in the works. But yeah, check us out on social media. Check us out on YouTube if you're listening on audio. We do have a video podcast over there. If you're on YouTube, we also have an audio podcast. If you like to listen to audio better, that's more convenient. Whichever way you do, we don't care. We're just glad to have you here. But anyway, we will see you next time on another episode.